The aftermath of the French Grand Prix, Felipe Massa leads the Drivers' World Championship by 2 points from Robert Kubica, with Räikkönen third and Hamilton fourth. Now 10 points behind Massa in the Drivers' Championship. As we take a look at the rear engine cover of the Ferrari of Kimi Räikkönen, he managed to nurse it to the finish. It's been a highly eventful afternoon that has seen Toyota back on the podium in the week that they mourn the death of their founder team principal, Ove Anderson. A fantastic response by the whole team, a greatly improved car. He managed to hold off Heikki Kovalainen and Robert Kubica, and he will be absolutely euphoric about that. Tremendous performance by Jarno Trulli. And you can see in the constructors now, McLaren falling quite some way behind. Ferrari 91 points, McLaren 58. As far as Hamilton was concerned, it was all about starting 13th on the grid after his Canada penalty, and then a drive-through penalty for cutting the chicane.
Yeah, it was a very dejected Lewis that finished 10th, 3.5 seconds behind Coulthard. He just really had no, I don't think he had much spirit left at the end of the race. It's going to be a very dejected Lewis Hamilton that gets out of that McLaren. He'll not be anywhere near this particular party.
It's a terrific drive by Felipe Massa, a fairly quiet one. We didn't see much of him on the TV. He was just doing his job up the front. He was 6.5 seconds behind Räikkönen in the opening phase of the race, but it was the middle part when Räikkönen hit trouble that allowed him to come back at him and pick up the victory. But as I said before, you take them any way they come.
Yeah, Räikkönen had the measure of him today, there's no doubt about it. It's Felipe who keeps scoring the points, having had such a disastrous start, didn't he? No points after the first 2 Grand Prix, and now he's leading the World Championship.
Yeah, so we've had Hamilton leading it, we've had Räikkönen leading it, we've had Kubica leading it, and now we've got Massa leading it. It is that wide open, and of the 4 of them, Hamilton 10 points behind. He's still very much in touch. Long way to go in this championship as we survey the damage, and the temperatures must have got pretty extreme in there.
It's the airbox as well that it's burned away, and that'll be another reason why he lost power.
So who's your driver of the day then?
Jarno Trulli.
Simple question, simple answer. Really only one answer. Fantastic performance by Trulli. Often criticised for his speed in races, but I think unfairly, when the car is there, Jarno Trulli is always one of the fastest drivers in Formula One.
Good effort from Nelson. Piquet 7th today ahead of Alonso, a fraction behind Webber. So he's got his career underway.
Another magnificent 1-2 for Ferrari, and not an easy one either, certainly as far as getting Räikkönen's car to the finish. They had a 1-2 in Bahrain and another one in Spain. Finished up with a 1-3 in Turkey. And that is why they have such a dominant lead in the Constructors' Championship. And Massa always enjoys his victories so much.
I think Kimi will be very relieved as well to pick up 8 points. That could so easily have been a DNF, couldn't it?
I think at the end of the season, you're absolutely right. It's Luca Baldesseri, one of the men who took over from Ross Brawn, the strategy boss of Ferrari, collects the Constructors' Trophy. We look back at the end of the season, if Räikkönen will look at this one as vital points that could so easily have got away from him.
Those black umbilical cords coming out of the overalls of the two Ferrari drivers, they monitor the driver's pulse and other parameters through the Grand Prix.
Bernard Laporte there, who presented the winning trophy, of course, the former France rugby coach, now part of the new government here in France. And a very much deserved trophy for Jarno Trulli, the driver of the day here in Magny-Cours. A poignant result in light of what happened recently, the death of Ove Anderson. Fantastic race here in Magny-Cours. Whether we'll be back again, well, we always ask that question. Who knows? Let's wait and see what happens next year. But Räikkönen's exhaust certainly cost him the win. Massa picked up the pieces. Dark days here for Lewis Hamilton. This amazing championship rolls on then to Silverstone in 2 weeks' time. It's a sellout. We look forward to the next chapter.
I'm sure Lewis Hamilton is already looking forward to that British Grand Prix at Silverstone, because this was the Ferrari domination that we all expected, and I suppose McLaren feared. It's delivered race victory for Felipe Massa, his third of the season, gives him the lead in the Drivers' Championship, and we'll have all the reaction when we return.